So many explanations, so many roads. Dreams are beautiful nightmares. Nightmares are beautiful dreams. Polarity is a planned prerequisite, prescribed by the goddess God that we are, ordained and originated here in Eden, a garden of deceit cleared by cleansing to the chakra channel. Coalescing coexistence, ego, soul, human highest self holding hands. One voice now speaking mutual respect, honor, love, reverence, reunification, remediation, remembering, realization, restoration, reclamation, resurrection. What cannot be lost, never left. To awaken to the memory infinite. A sober step, re-entering a realm, divinity-driven life, the only given. All other things must pass, not real. By the way of the roads of separation. Now, collective path been cleared. Stars are beautiful spaceships, and spaceships are beautiful stars. Even the icons of our hopes fade into the holy obscurity of equality as God is man. Above, below, within, without. Doubt the devil dreamed and planted by the pure, high, holy mind found with all the universes. Within the corporal, cosmic body, human hybrid, holy lower mind. Oneness begins and ends where both minds coincide. 'Tis the glory of the soul, secret place both low and high. Feed the breath, a starving heart. Find the place perpetual where peace and pain partner, and there is no divide. I am soul. Hang on 1 second, Duncan. All right, I got 4 people in the Zoom room. Duncan, Monique, Ann, what's happening? Good morning to you. Duncan Alexander.
Todd, how are you?
What's happening?
Yeah, all good my side. All good my side. I'm just sharing it.
We just checked into a hotel in Shasta.
Oh, have you arrived there?
Yeah. Yeah, we got here and it's been a pretty interesting half a day. A lot of interesting stuff going on. So how's it going over there on your end?
It's been good. It's been good, but in saying this, there's been a lot of turbulence at the same time. Very emotional time. So a lot of feeling. I've been feeling a lot the last few days. And then I put up the post the other day regarding a rebirth. So there's a definite rebirth taking place, transformation, definitely within myself. And yeah, so it's felt like quite an emotional time, but with the turbulence, it may last a day. There've been big breakthroughs at the end of every day, big, expansive, I would say, light, expansive, light body activations with every emotional, turbulent sensation or period of time that I've gone through.
Wow.
Jan, I've been seeing it. I've been seeing it collectively as well, obviously on Facebook, and yeah, at times. Also for me, the last 2 weeks, waking up in the morning feels like I've been hit by a ton of bricks. Very, very heavy. Not that easy to get out of bed, but then I calibrate, and like I said, later on in the day, what I've been doing is, instead of going to meditation, I've just been sitting in the emotional time, in the emotion itself. And I found that to be an acceleration kit. And then boom, you just get that breakthrough and that expansion comes in. So that's what I've been doing. So instead of meditating, just sitting in it, I still do my meditations, but they're becoming fewer and farther between. So yeah, just going along for the ride.
Right. Yeah, I think it's the 6th of September, so the last week. It's been like that. I guess in our own way over here, it's been like that. We had some fellowship with some 3 incredible ladies and a couple other friends. A lot of activating, a lot of authenticity, a lot of everybody doing work. It was obvious, but there was no drama. There was no major projection that wasn't leveled out. And then we spent the last couple days alone, and it's been extremely powerful. Yeah.
Great. So you got there today, you said?
Yeah, we got there. We got there today. And this morning I had, and I'll tell you about it later because I want to hear about what happened with you. This morning I had this multi-dimensional experience laying in bed next to Morgan. It was pretty, I just remembered it right now. I told her about it, but I didn't even think about it to talk about it. Because I'm sure, as usual, it's going to relate to whatever you went through. It usually works that way.
Yes, yeah, no, definitely.
So,
I saw, well,
go ahead.
Do you want me to speak first? So,
yes.
It wasn't to do, I didn't feel the dragon energy. So when did this happen for you? This happened last night, early this morning.
This morning, but I mean, it's been like you described the last few days, but this morning didn't have anything to do with dragons. I really haven't even thought about dragons probably for a week, but yeah, but the last, 2 or 3 times that we've talked, we've basically done the same thing. We've thrown up together, other things. So yeah. But so what happened with the pictures? Let me show them the pictures. Because I put that out.
Yeah, so that's.
Hang on, let me get the picture. Let's see.
Yeah, for sure. Then we'll come back to the experience last night. I'm sure there's a synchronicity.
I gotta go out of here.
Sure.
So when did this happen? Let me pull it up.
So I've had this mark on my arm from earliest I can remember, definitely having it as 6 years old.
Okay.
So it's like a birthmark, a mark on my right arm, which I can show people now. Should I quickly just show people? So the clarity is not great here, but that's why I've taken a picture and shown it to you.
Yeah.
So I've had, so there's the mark there on my arm.
Can you see it? Do you have it on the screen? I'm trying to put it on the screen.
I can see it, yeah, on my side, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the. Let me see it. Let me see it again.
Sure.
So you've always had that.
So I've always had it since 6 years old.
Yeah.
And I only started questioning what it was in my late teens, I would say, because from there I could definitely see, listen, this is something. This is not normal. Yeah, so there it is. So then I'd say in my mid-20s, that's when I started investigating. I could definitely see it was something, it was a face. Then I could see it was definitely maybe some sort of animal. And then I sent it through to a psychic in my mid-20s, I'd say, or late 20s. And all she said to me was, okay, well, that's magic. But you couldn't tell me much else. And she said, I have it there obviously to remind me of the connection to this magic. So now as I've gotten older, I would say it wasn't as clear there, even though that picture, I haven't done anything with that picture. That's a normal picture. And obviously when you're in my presence, person to person, you'll see it a lot clearer. So as I've gotten older, so the mark on my arm has become more clear and more clear and more clear. So then years later, I tune into Soul Speaks 5D. So now, obviously, what I figured out, 100% confirmation that is the mark of a dragon on my right arm.
Right on.
So yeah, years later, then I tune into, as of March this year, Soul Speaks 5D, and Todd Medina's talking about dragons. then Gayatri comes on, and the dragon conversation flows. And then there are these pictures of these dragons that Gayatri has obviously painted and shown. And with the multi-dimensional experiences that we've shared in these conversations, with the white-faced dragon with the red and blue eye, and then the dragons that I've seen after tuning into this show, obviously tuning into this energy, without a shadow of a doubt, I could see that this was the mark of the dragon. And yeah, so since March, obviously, so I wasn't sure. So I've known for a while, obviously, while talking to you, what it was, but I wasn't sure whether I should be keeping it to myself or whether I should be putting it out there for people in the public to see. But then I had a chat with Gayatri a week ago, and yeah, something very special happened where she went into channel and she asked me to put my left hand over the mark on my arm, and all of a sudden it went very cold. And then it got very, very hot. And both our hands, even though she's in India on the other side of the world, her hands started getting hot. And then I knew, and in dream state, I got the information, no, listen, the dragons would love for you to share this. Please go ahead. You know, this is not a serious thing. This is fun.
Yes.
And it's about talking about these things and spreading awareness.
Exactly.
That this is real, because it's no longer me believing in what I'm seeing and the ego saying, did I see that or not? It's once or twice the ego comes in, you doubt. Not when it's 20 times with someone on the other side of the world. So someone in America, then someone in India. Then it becomes knowingness. So it's knowingness. And in the dream state, what I've gotten, and you said it, Todd, so we are the dragons. So what we are seeing are the aspects of ourselves. Literally.
That's right.
We are the dragons.
That's right.
So it's nothing, just for people who are unsure, it's nothing to fear whatsoever. The dragons are the most beautiful energy ever. They're very playful. Yes, they mean business when they come to do the dance clearing work. They also very much involved in divine union. Absolutely. Which I've gotten obviously from us talking about it, but then in dream state, I've gotten the crystal clear message they're here for divine union. And they are pure of heart, beautiful, beautiful beings. Yeah. So there really is nothing to fear about the dragon energy.
Well, and we are the dragon energy. And you you have entered the dragon. You have entered the dragon, or the dragon's entered you. And that's where I was at this morning, and have been from time to time. Morgan and I reviewing as usual, you know, in the morning after after the previous day and night. We are the dragon. And I look at what you and Gayatri did. You guys actually merged. You merged your dragon frequency.
100%.
You merged. And this is how we exchange code, just like this show, just like anybody involved, anything we involve ourselves with. You know, Morgan's been talking about conscious soul merging for years and years, 15, 20 years. And I think this is this is one of the ways that we communicate on this new earth. It's not like explanations and big long, it's just, and we come away expanded. And I agree with the dragon energy, your dragon energy, your lineage, whatever's speaking to you, the you, me, and it. Yeah, let's bring everything out. Let's bring everything out. I don't think it's about the instruction and the knowledge we're pulling from our higher aspects and our multidimensional aspects in the universe. I don't think it's about that. I think what it's about now is everybody being who they are without reservation, every part of him, no matter how weird it might seem, no matter what that is, because that's pure love energy. That's pure, unencumbered, uninhibited, genuine, innocent love,
Exactly. But it really is amazing. It really is amazing. And what I've been shown is, and what the new teachings are, and Todd, you know this, but for other viewers there. So, I mean, the Christ consciousness, and the dragons, and the hybrid races. And like you said, Todd, oneness is oneness. And the new teachings are that it's not separate. So when the dragon has come through for me, there has been the Christ frequency with that. It's the same thing in essence. So not that these beings are separate. It's all the same. And they all work together.
Yeah.
They all work together. And the
connect.
beauty of the dragons is, if they're working with you, we are the dragons. It's been this beautiful initiation, and it's making sense. It makes 100% sense to me.
Yeah.
The baptism by fire, that's the initiation of the dragon. People who have been through the deepest, darkest corners, have all been perfectly designed as an initiation. And the dragon, we being the dragons, the aspect of ourselves, have always been there in their time, even if we weren't aware of it. Yeah. And the power of the protection of the dragons is on another level.
Absolutely.
What they are able to transmute. And it really is about getting the awareness out there that this is magic. Magic is real. And this, when this comes in with this activation and the awareness, and so it comes into the conscious awareness of individuals, so the dragons are able to move into their reality experience to assist them consciously. And this is where miracles happen. The dragons can transmute extremely dense environments, energies. They are incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. And I am new to this, Todd. This is, I mean, you were speaking about it before I was with Gayatri. Then as soon as I tapped into the show, into the frequency, so there's a code exchange, like with all of your shows.
Yeah.
There are codes being exchanged, and I was activated. And just from that, so I was visually seeing it. I was actually seeing the dragon images.
Right on. Right on.
Well, I'm just grateful.
I'm
grateful.
It's moving so fast. Again, the instruction, at least for this group, for this nucleus, for this community, whatever that may be, I have no idea. The numbers, it doesn't even matter. But it's not the instruction, and it's not, hey, here's my skill and abilities. It's express everything that you come into contact with in your own personal journey, be it dragons, be it ghosts, be it whatever, be it Arcturians, whatever. This is huge. And it's moving so fast. I think it is because of the dragons, the dragon energy that we all have. We're at this level where the fire is, like you said, the fire is the initiation, because it's like the Kali goddess energy. There's no more bullshit.
That's it.
No more bullshit. You're not going to hide anymore. And I'm watching it happen, but I'm also watching people handle it, including myself, with less projection and more clarity and more tolerance with themselves and others. So this is huge. I believe this is the most real-time intel you can get, not because I'm involved with it, but because we need to talk about what's happening. We've all hidden for too long all the parts of our lives, all of our dreams, our deepest wishes, and our worst traumas, everything. You know, fear's gone. The game is over. This is cool. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened this morning. So I'm laying in bed with Morgan. And we've had, since we left Hawaii on August the 8th, we arrived in LA on August the 8th into Terminal 5D, literally. It's been one thing after another, which is not out of the ordinary. So this morning, I'm laying there and I open my eyes and I see her looking at me. And nothing was said, but a code went off or something aligned. I closed my eyes and I started to see two aspects of her and I, these golden star family beings that, for lack of a better word, because there's no disrespect, ET-ish looking, slanty eyes, triangular faces, very beautiful, but not humanoid other than the limbs on their body and the legs and that type of thing.
Have a big mouth, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm watching them and I was getting that, hey, we are higher aspects of y'all. We had something to do with your creation, but that's not the right word, but it is. It's hard to explain because I can't really explain it. And they showed me that they were actually expanding through us. Every level up we did together was expanding them.
Yes.
So it was almost like we were the child, they were the parent, but that we were the parent and they were the child. It was a weird frequency, right? Not weird, you know what I mean? So anyway, that happened, and then there was 2 or 3 or 4 other couples, aspects of ourselves, Lyrian. There was a blue couple that we'd seen one other time when we had an activation. They were ET-ish looking. So this is all happening, and it's this pure frequency of love, dude. Like just like, holy shit, you know? Wow. All we got to do is love each other, and the whole universe is benefiting. Holy shit. Then, all of a sudden, this very masculine, not evil, but very scary, powerful, forceful image of a masculine man appeared in front of me. And he had his hair pulled back. It was yellowish gold. It was pulled straight back. By the looks of it, he was probably 8 or 9 feet tall. But I only could see from like here up. He had this look on his face that was scary. And I said, and I knew he was well, I didn't know he was an aspect of me at that time. And I looked at him because I do believe one is one. Absolutely. But this came in so hard against the backdrop of that pure love. And I come to think of it, this is how the dragons operate. Right? Go right to the meat of it. So anyway, he was there, and I said to myself, what the hell's going on here? And my first instinct was bring it in. Just bring it into my heart. Bring him into my heart. But there was a little hesitance, so I put my hand up because he looked much bigger than me. And I said, I make the decisions around here. This is my universe. I love you, man. I don't know who you are. And, you know, chill out. So this went on for, it seemed like a couple of minutes, and it was telepathic, and you know, I was thinking a little bit, but it was basically like this little tug of war. And then he showed me who he was. I believe he was a Syrian. I don't know, but he was a very influential aspect on a planet who had very little compassion. But he was extremely successful and influential in the world, but he lacked that. So therefore his virtuous side kind of suffered. It was very interesting. So then whenever he came, I said, come in, you know, let's merge. So he came into my heart, and at that point, he showed me, and it was a lot like that first couple scenario, he showed me how by doing that, because I said, I am not separate from you. You are separate from me. That's what I told him. I said, I do not feel separate from you. You are separating yourself from me. So then he came in and showed me how that alignment, how that merging corrected everything in his planetary existence, in his life. Like as the
Wow.
present changes, the past actually changes. The shit that didn't go right
Yes.
changes. And he showed me this, and it was very powerful. Now I'm driving down the road with Morgan, and I'm telling her, hey, can I tell you about what happened? So I tell her, and she said, in her profound, she says, after it's over, she goes, come on, let me tell you what I think. I think you just accepted all whatever the darkest or the whatever was left over of your masculine shadow. You know, no judging, no, just brought it in, all loving all aspects, right? And I believe that's what it was. And the reason that I do is because when she said that, I had remembered that the last image that came in was Mother Goddess. Now at this point, we're like side by side, shoulder to shoulder on the bed, you know, laying down side by side. Our shoulders are touching. And as she came in, she was like, that's your divine feminine, but you know that. And like other times, I felt like it was one. We were just one. I could see the two parts, but we were one. And she was saying, that's your divine feminine, but you know that already. Because she's popped in once or twice and an experience has happened, and she told me. But she said, it's your divine masculine that you don't see, or something to that effect. So at that point, I knew, right, that I had still some things that were left out that I hadn't embraced. And I believe, well, based on this, you know, this moment, it feels like full alignment. But you know how this works. Tomorrow I could wake up, you know what I mean? And there's a level up from the dragon.
For sure.
And then the party starts all over. Yeah.
Exactly. So I've got what you've been saying to me now in dream state. About 7 feet tall, but this person was represented to me. I could see that it was galactic, but as an old friend of mine. So when that happens in my dream states, I'm able to go back to that individual's personality traits to see what type of person or being is this individual. And that individual, so the tall, was a fantastic human being. And what I was getting was it had to do with competition.
Yes. Very masculine.
But powerful. Very, very powerful, and represented as a supreme athlete, but able to get through pretty much anything,
yeah, with
ease, and is very used to winning.
Yes.
Coming first.
Dude, why are you telling me this? You're freaking me out. Holy shit. No, I get it totally. I'm totally locked in here.
But it was represented to me also. So I spoke about with the dragons, the baptism by fire, but also a baptism took place. So there was a big cleansing that took place. So the competition, the duality then moved into, as you said, when you merge, maybe with it, there was a purification of mind, body, and spirit in that moment with the merging.
Wow. So tell me, who's this dude? Who's this dude in your dreams? A 7-foot guy?
So I wasn't able to decipher whether it's Syrian, Learn. I have dreamt of Learns before.
Can you see what he looks like?
Yes, I know exactly who it is, and that's why I was saying he had a big mouth.
Mm.
A big mouth. This is interesting. So after we speak, I'm going to sit with this. There'll be more information.
Yeah, I know.
After we've spoken, 100%. But so this individual who I knew was very wealthy, abundance, had many hidden talents.
Mm.
Hidden talents, and there was fear of showing who he truly is, stepping into his truth. And yeah, so this, I'm trying to think about what else. I know this individual's now moved to Australia. So, I mean, this is how I'll decipher things, but it sometimes takes a week or two to get a comprehensive analysis of what I've been dreaming.
Wow.
But one of the most beautiful human beings that I know, that I ever met, I would, salt of the earth, this being.
You know him incarnated?
Yes, I know him incarnate, but sometimes the being will be represented as someone I know, so I understand that being's personality traits.
So
where's that being? Yeah.
You know who it is. Okay, I got you.
I know, and it makes so much sense, because I know that this person I know incarnate is here to do something very important.
Wow.
Even though they're very quiet about it, and other people won't know it, but he is. Just his presence alone,
yeah,
used to change lives without people knowing it.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of those walking around.
But went through a very dark time.
Yeah.
Went through a very, very dark time, a difficult time. But it's almost that analogy of came through with great power, through great adversity, with flying colors.
Mm.
And what I'm getting right now is also they are learning this aspect, are learning emotion from us.
Yes. Yeah. I've gotten that before. I've said that on here. This past January, there was quite a bit of that going on. And one of the quite a bit of star family interaction in Hawaii. And they said that. They said that the human, what's never been done before is the human's ability to transform these emotions into pure manifestation, which, if you ask me, that's what the dragons do. Okay. So if you're baptized by fire, if you go through that deepest shadow, if you cut the bullshit with yourself, stop posing. I mean, I'm talking at the deep levels. I'm not making fun of anybody, because I'm just the same. But if you let go of that stuff and you really face some stuff that many of us are getting to now, there is an immediate result of pure manifestation in your life. Something goes boom, right? And on that note, with the story of the guy, the truth is we've all, every one of us, way beyond this incarnation, on this earth, as human hybrid, have all gone through tremendous adversity, and we actually all have done a great job. And that's one of the things that we're starting to realize, who we are. When you realize who you are and you realize what you've done, you're like, wow. You want a reason to love yourself? You had the etheric universal balls to come down here and play this game and make something. And really,
Wow.
a macrocosm example of that transmutation of the emotions as an individual, as they're learning from us. We're doing it as an entire collective, and this is just the beginning.
Yes, but this individual as well, also, so it was represented as a swimmer, but like Olympic swimmer, and dived down to collect a diamond ring at the bottom of this big dam. And like, there's more interpretations that's personal for me. So that's sacred marriage, divine union, but also what you just said. So teaching them emotions and just saying, hang on for a second. You're coming to the party now, but you need to understand what we have been through to get to where we are right now.
Yeah.
And in this understanding, there is great expansion for you in understanding this process.
Yeah, I'm serious. If you,
so they are learning from us, and I'll try to put it in the right words. Respect. We're saying, hang on, come in here and just feel, understand, get a broader idea of what the human goes through, so that we can do this in a more expansive manner.
Yeah.
That goes hand in hand and is about the oneness.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not the competition. It is oneness.
That competition frequency that you experience, that I experienced in that aspect of Merge With Me today, is very masculine, very powerful, like you said, wins, and it cannot, even in another planetary system, operate as balanced as what we're bringing to the table. I think there's a huge thing happening right now with the masculine energy. I don't understand it all. We discuss everything over here, you know that.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving you the latest through our discussions in regard to that, and my observations and my own experience. Something's happened with Morgan and I in the sacred sexual vibration and that experience, which is integral to divine union. We're being reset again. We're abstaining, and something's happening. It's all related.
Yeah.
I want to go back to what you said a minute ago, because I have heard that. Well, in a way, I think you said they're learning from us about the emotions, right? And then the thing about the ring, are they learning from us divine union? Is that what you were saying?
Yes. I didn't have the full answer there until you just said it. We are showing them the way.
It makes sense.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense because everything, for me, for 8 years, it only makes sense in a duality realm where the key to the game is integrating. For 8 years, I've said the universe teaches in a paradoxical manner. So like what looks like it's up is down. Everything is like that, you know? And it would make sense that if you had, because we've heard this from others too, that they're watching our emotions. That if you take that deeper, it's the transmutation, the transformation of the emotions into pure manifestation. And then if you take that deeper It's what is pure manifestation, pure creation. That is divine union. That is the golden child, right? So we're living this existence. We're in a hotel. Thank you, Wanda, Vitaly, and Teresa, and this group over here. Matthew Patty's here. We're going to get to see him tonight for two nights, and then we're back on what used to be a tightrope. The Soul Highway is a tightrope. Now we don't have any more money. We don't have. Everything's the same, but there's this creative, pure manifestation energy that's sparking up, and we are not the only ones. People listening are on this path. You're on this path. It's happening. We've underestimated ourselves for too long.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing. If you break it down to the base component, it is the Trinity, right?
Yes, definitely.
I mean, that's what it is. And so,
but it's definitely we're in training as well with them.
Absolutely. Absolutely we are.
We're in training still. We're in training.
Absolutely. And they are too. And there's the parallel paradox. You know, there is I am the child, I am the parent, or I am the child, they were the parent in the what happened to me this morning when I told you earlier. But that I was the parent and they were the child. So it works, it's a cosmic duality. It's an instant manifestation, instant transformation, both ways. Instant transfer.
Yes.
Instant reciprocation. That's the right term. Because it happens instantly. It's just like service to self, true service to self. Right? Not the old, the new. Service to self, doing what's right for you in all moments, has an instantaneous reciprocation to service to others, because it's all about your frequency. You know, I mean, it's crazy, but it's true to me. All we got to do is love each other. I learned it in a divine union with Morgan, and then you say, well, that only makes sense. All you got to do is love each other. That's one of the things we're getting used to.
That's it.
You know, it is. It's one of the things we're getting used to.
That's it. And so I've also been celibate since April last year.
Oh yeah.
And it was just a knowingness that this is the way forward. I'm not saying when I come into union that won't change if I have a child one day, but that's been crucial. That's been crucial. And I don't see people, maybe now and then, once every 4 months. I hardly speak to anybody. Right now it's been all about holding my field, being about me, balance within all of that. And very, very, very limited contact with anybody besides clients that I have. I mean, Gayatri is one of the few people that I reached out to. I just knew I was pulled.
Yeah.
Let me send her a message, let me chat to her. So yeah, no, definitely a big part of it.
I think the
sexual energy is vital.
Yeah. It's a purity, it's a purification. Again, back to the dragon energy. 2 mornings ago, we picked up our car, drive out of LA about 8 hours, get a hotel, had a beautiful night. And let me just say this too, to try to bring more clarification, because it's not about us. It's about the code, right? Even though we're not having what we would call physical intimacy, intercourse, let's put it that way, we are having the sacred sexual vibration is there. You understand? It's there. It's birthing. So I wake up the next morning and I'm shaking. I'm just shaking. I'm like, and we had 2 beds. They just happened to give us 2 beds. In the middle of the night, I'm snoring. I get over in the other bed. And like Morgan said later, there's a reason we had 2 beds. So this is pre this alignment this morning. I start getting this very, very like flashbacks, molestation. It all came back. And I'm just like, my muscles, my memory was just going nuts. My body was shaking. I was smelling stuff, from the experiences or whatever. And I'm like, what the hell? Why is this back? And I don't usually call on specific faces of the universe, but I said, Mother Goddess, please help me clear this. What do I got to do? I don't care. You could have lit me on fire with gasoline. I'd have done it. It was that intense. So what ended up happening, long story short, is I had not, and again, it was pure dragon type energy. I had not owned molester, victimizer, rapist, sexual predator. I obviously had the other polarity down. You know what I mean? Victim, whatever you want to call it. But there is no gray area in the ascension. There is no gray area in the power of creation, in the creative energy, in the pure manifestation energy. There is no middle ground to hit that spot, that spark. So a victim is a victim no matter what it looks like. So I had to go in and merge, integrate, invocate with these polarities that I hadn't. Now, Morgan's been talking about this for years. I'm just starting to really get it because I'm actually doing it and I can feel it in my body, right? You can tell somebody something till you're blue in the face, but we've all got to experience this stuff. And I think this is something else that people are starting to realize. I know in a couple of the conversations that her and I have been involved in the last few days, that's come up.
Definitely. Well, that's mastery.
Yeah.
It's living that experience. And
and there's something.
How did you? Yeah, carry on.
No, I just wanted to say, because I don't want to forget, there's something about celibacy. There's something about, and I'm not saying permanent, but there's something about letting go altogether of the old programming. Totally. And it can't be forced on anybody. And when I bring this up to people, they resist it. But I'm telling you, it's getting deeper and deeper for us, and we're not the only ones. And you're doing it on an individual level, and I know other people that are too. Yeah. So this is why I think these type of discussions, real-time intel, is simply the experience that's happening to me on the front line of the apocalypse. What's yours? It's not about this is how it works, absolutely. And even if it is, that was yesterday. It's not today. Like I said, I aligned today, which seemed like all the final shadow aspects of my masculinity that I hadn't claimed, but I could wake up tomorrow and, something changed. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So also what I saw last night was a big macabre spinning rapidly activation that's taking place. Then I saw 2 really big puzzle pieces coming together, but merging, sealing. And I've had this many times, but these were very big. It's multi-dimensional, multifaceted.
Yeah.
Puzzle pieces, aspects, merging.
Wow.
And that merging creates the perfect puzzle piece for another merge.
Yes. And
this cannot merge. So without this.
That's right. That's what and that's how that math works. So if you align these 2 puzzle pieces today, what you experienced, they match. That's all the universe can see are these two pieces. This is the dragon and this is you, or whatever. This is the Syrian this morning and this is me. And boom. And just like you, when that happened, there was this, there were cubes. There were cubes. It was multi-dimensional, sacred geometric. There was these grids between the cubes, and it was spinning. And
but it looked like three macabres in one.
Yeah, it didn't look like. Yeah, it was so busy on the inside. Yes, I can see. We're talking. Yeah, and that's what happened when he came in. That was the final thing, and it went into my third eye, and it was just like explodes, right? So the two puzzle pieces meet. However that looks to me, however you viewed it or it looks to you or experienced it, and that's what I'm saying. You align with everything on this morning, like I just described in my personal human experience, and then you wake up tomorrow, and this thing's floating through air, and it's going to attach to another one. And it couldn't have done it until the first two were together. That's what you're saying. And that's how this works. That's why there's no guarantees. There's no tomorrow, because you can only focus on today, put the two pieces together, move on to the next one. And what represents the two pieces? Two people. Your each situation you have moment by moment. Oneness is oneness. We sat with a guy last night who's been studying and practicing and mastering for 30 years energy in his own science. It's all the same. And he pulled out a tomato, a bottle of wine, myself, and energetically connects and demonstrated some things, feeling the energy fields and different things like that. This is where we're headed. This is who we are. That's why it'll be a wordless existence at some point, because we already know. Telepathy is also 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
So you won't, like next time you won't say, do I share this thing? You had it come in, it came in for a reason. Now, the aspect of you that hadn't quite aligned, the dragon came in and said, hey, go show it.
And then it happened.
That's right. Yeah.
Then it happened all within 24 hours.
And something will come out of it too. A pure manifestation energy, pure love. The golden child energy will come every time we put those two pieces together. And what can be a better example, and I would say a more important physical representation or physical occurrence of the two puzzle pieces coming together than two people merging consciously. I mean, in time we'll be able to do it like that.
Yeah.
Well, because
exactly.
the collective energy is demanding it. Really, we're demanding it, that pushing the humans through it. But now the humans are getting, the human aspects are getting control and saying, just like that aspect came in today, and I said, I make the decisions around here. Oh, and by the way, when that happened, as the conversation went from that oppressive energy to neutrality and merging, he got very small and ended up being like this tall in my hand, like I was holding him, like the size of a Barbie doll, you know. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. And every time we talk, it's interesting, because it's like I don't know, man. I can see everything you're telling me, and I can also see the two pieces fitting. It's like validation for me.
Yeah, but also these puzzle pieces, they were huge. So it was a big moment, and it was foundational. It's a big merge stage, completion, sealed, fastened.
That's
an amplification from that moment. from the two joining,
and
sealing,
is it,
merging.
and if you think about it in energy wise, okay, now think about this. So energy wise, and we're talking energy, which is pretty much the way it works to the physical gender. The feminine has been ahead, right? The feminine has worked, done this, whatever, you know. The masculine's been like pulling teeth. You know, it's been like, it's not been easy because it is a patriarchal system, and that's what has conditioned all of us, embedded in all of us. And maybe that's part of the reason it's gotten louder and louder and louder and louder, albeit we're handling it quicker, all of us, processing it quicker, projecting with less force, and, you know, leveling off quicker. But perhaps it's good, you know, and that's why we're seeing it getting so loud, and that's where what I think is describes the dragon energy. It's the fire. The fire just keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter until you jump through it, you know, or whatever, or merge with it or whatever.
Exactly. Well, very exciting times. Very, very exciting times.
Yeah.
And we ain't seen nothing yet.
No.
We ain't
No,
seen
but I
nothing
love
yet.
what you said about those two pieces coming together being the foundation, because it does feel like since 8/8 it's a new game. Like
Yeah.
Franco DiNicarlo describes it as it's not streaming. It's even like he calls it the inverted 3D matrix. It's only streaming 60% of what it was, and it's diminishing. So it's like fear cannot play out anymore. And that sounds great, and that sounds fluffy, love, and light, but it's not always that way. Because like you said, the two pieces got to come together. And those pieces are only coming together as we pull these aspects or recognize these aspects in ourselves and integrate with them. Oneness. And in the mirrors that we see, these are the they're the mirrors. If you don't like something outside of you, we can work all day on this. Everywhere you go, every time you feel it's like, okay, I got to do this one now. I got to do this one now. And it does get better. No doubt.
Yeah.
There was a
Definitely. The thing is, yeah, it's the inverted 3D like Franco talks about, and I mean it's really escalated now with, like you talk about the 60% and fear, you know, no longer having a place in the new frequency.
yeah.
And it's getting louder. And the thing is, it's actually really happening now. It's not like this is happening a month, this is happening, and people are feeling it. Are really, really feeling it.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I'm very happy about it. Extremely happy about it.
I'm very happy about it as well. You know, it's just like, and again, you know, we do this because Morgan and I, because we're called to do this. Because, and every day, it's like anything that makes me uncomfortable, anything that I do, projecting or whatever, anything, it all comes back to fear. It all comes back to fear. Every single bit of it. So the game is getting easier because I'm taking the labels off of covering fear up and just looking at that. You know, why did I project? I went to pick up the car at the LA Harbor. I didn't have any gas. I started freaking out. I get back to the hotel, and I don't even know what I said, but I projected. And Morgan looked at me and she goes, wow, that's a pretty good example of projection or something like that. And but the way she said it, I just cracked up and started laughing. I said, oh my God, what the hell was that? But anything like that, Any deception is done because of fear. Anything is lies. Not projecting. I mean, we know this game, and so to me, that's what's happening. Is I'm seeing everything is fear.
Exactly.
And you go to work, and you basically go to work, and sometimes that means you temporarily, because we know one come together once, come together forever, but that means walking away or separating or disengaging from relationships, places, people, energies, as you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it makes perfect sense. I mean, going back in my life, the deepest, darkest characters I ever came into contact with or interacted with, these people were very, very scared.
Yeah.
Even though it might not seem like that to other people, like, or this person's, a vicious person or a very dark person, they're not scared of anything. Those people
They're the most
live in fear.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And you're right. And what you just said, it's perfect. You can always tie it into fear.
Yeah.
And I mean, I catch myself projecting every day myself.
I mostly do it here. I don't open my mouth too much. I don't open my mouth too much.
I still do it. Fear, I still find myself in fear now and again, but it's, I'm getting there.
I'm glad you brought that up because it made me just have to admit something. So much of the show you talked about, what came out of these stories was competition, which obviously is masculine. What am I trying to say? I admit, I haven't said this, so I have to say this. I admit that I have been challenged over and over again by my sense of what you described earlier, always winning, multi-talented. Now, this is all just me. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not saying I am, but the competition thing. And that's, I think, becoming very important. And again, this is just a microcosm example. As we try to, Morgan and I, create this imbalance, the masculine energy is very important because of its action orientation, and its structure orientation and all that. And I am having to work on that every single day. But I can see the magic happening. I can see it happening, and it has to do with humility and compassion and allowance. Surrender. White flag.
Surrender.
Just with the white flag up. Okay, what else you got, man? I have to go in a few minutes because my daughter needs to talk to her daddy.
Well, there's something I've got for you. If it's okay if I share, I had a dream a while back with you in it.
Oh, really?
Do you have my permission to share it with you?
Absolutely.
Okay. So a while back, I had a dream of you. Okay, and it all makes sense, and it's great that I left it until now, because I didn't know that you were going to Mount Shasta back then 2 months ago. But you were walking up this path in this big open field, like a farm, big open plot.
Yeah.
Towards a big white house, a mansion. And there's a reference here in South Africa that what I was getting, if you know Nelson Mandela, The Long Walk to Freedom.
Yes.
There was a reference to that and you. So that's what I got, and it's big.
Wow.
It's big and it's a game changer. So yeah, I thought I'd just share that with you. Thanks for your permission.
Do you know when that happened?
This happened, it was during, I think, July, when there was that big purge going on,
Okay.
when we were all going through that big purge.
Yeah.
But it's a shift from it's a completely different environment, a different reality altogether. From July to the White House, to the mansion in the farm, big open space.
Wow.
So that's some information, but let's see what happens on your side.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, we yesterday, within about 20 minutes of each other, when we were driving, I actually I didn't have it that powerfully, like what you're describing. But about 20 minutes went by. I didn't say anything. She had one. And it was like a flash. And the energy of it's a lot like the energy of what you just described. So yeah, we'll see what happens as we continue to connect in our in our sleep state, basically, all of us, our multidimensional states, whatever you want to call it, because it seems like the transfer energetically is carrying over now to our conscious waking hours. And by the way, I don't want to get away without asking you this one. How about sleep? Because I think it's been an issue with people, and I'm just interested to know, how much are you sleeping?
I'm sleeping a lot.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I'm sleeping a lot, but some nights I battle to get to sleep, so I'll be up till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
But I'm doing this full time now. I don't have a 9-to-5 job, so if I need to sleep and I need to rest, I make the time to do that.
Yeah.
I've been getting that it's very important. If you need to, if it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you need to go lie down and have a nap,
Absolutely.
If the energy is too much, I go and do that.
Absolutely.
So I've been sleeping a lot, yeah, and a lot of nightmares. Todd, the last month.
Oh, really? That's purging. That's purging to me.
Yeah.
If I'm having nightmares, and I don't have them, but every now and then I'll get one. I had one probably 3 or 4. I don't know, more like a week ago. Yeah. And I was sleeping 10 minutes. Yeah, I'd been doing that a lot, but since we got on the road, that's not the case. But it hasn't been bad. But we did have a stretch there where we were sleeping 3 hours. It was erratic, but the energy level was the same. So, you know what I mean? And it didn't really coincide with the biological clock of our day. All right, man.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a couple people, Janie Hodges, Sufi Olson. We're going to be heading into Oregon on Sunday. We don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to drive. So just want to say hello to y'all. What else is happening? Oh, we're over here in Sedona, and I'm going to charge the phone and hook up with Matthew, Patty, Wanda, Teresa, and 27 other people in their group, and bring some real-time intel from Shasta. So that'll be tonight and tomorrow, all day tomorrow. Yeah, let's do it again in no more than 4 weeks, man. When you coming to America?
Funny that you asked that.
Shit.
Yeah, no, so I've been confirmed that I'm definitely going to be visiting America. I don't know if it's going to be now. I'm 33 years of age now. It might be in my 40s, but I go to America. I got that confirmation. But it's funny that you asked that now, because that's been on my mind the whole week.
So let me ask you this. If you had $1 million, where would you go? I'm just curious. It doesn't have to be America. I'm just curious. Or
it would definitely. It's America, because that's where I've been guided. It's not just once; it's 10 times. There's something for me in America there. Yeah. There's something important there. Yes. But it's important that I'm here now. Yeah. There's obviously a reason why I'm here now.
Well, you'll probably be keynote speaker at the Soulogy Fest on Saturday night.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Saturday night before the big party.
Yes, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, right on. Yeah, yeah. These one of the other things that might help people. That's why it's talked about this stuff on our end anyway. Is okay. I'll give you an example. See if I can talk about that. So the energy. So I've been doing this for a while. I've been on the road trying to make things happen, trying to create events, and I need this equipment, and I don't have it, and all this stuff, right? And Morgan says, and this is just one example of many steps we've taken together and how we're learning to manifest by letting go, because it actually takes work to let go, just like it takes work to structure and control, right? And plan. And so she said, you're thinking too small. You're limiting yourself. I'm like, no, I'm not. But I am. If I can, and that's the great thing about it. All we got to do is love each other. Well, let's translate that to ourselves. All I got to do is love myself. What do I like doing? I like to have a microphone in my hand, be up on a stage, talking to people, rapping with people, rapping some music, ceremony, whatever the case is. This makes my heart shine, right? If I can elevate that love for myself, which is my experience, which is my relationship, which is my passion, Soulogy, whatever you want to call it, those things will come. I don't have to put the event together. I don't have to buy the equipment. I don't have to do this stuff. This is, and the reason I'm telling you this is because this is what we're all walking into. And that includes, I can't go do this, but I can't leave the country. But I don't focus on the why not. I focus on where I'm going.
Yeah.
And pretty
No,
soon,
that's why.
yeah, pretty soon we'll be able
That's
to
why when
focus
you
on
said-
when we're going, all of us. Go ahead.
That's why when you said that, because I mean, I don't have the money to get to America
Right.
now. So from a 3D perspective, I think, no, that's not possible. But I've been shown that I go to America.
Yes. And you know, when I told Vera Ingeborg 6 weeks ago, we were having a talk, and I said, I'm feeling this. Like, I'm feeling I need to do this, and I'm feeling I need to do that. She said, what you're feeling is the alignment. You're feeling it because it's aligning with you, which means it's going to manifest. So basically, these are not her words. Get the fuck out of the way. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Just shut up and align with it. And that's what, God, I know, obviously, you know, I love Morgan. You know what I mean? But that's what Morgan's been able to, like a wild horse, break me. Like, no, I got to do it this way. And just with that grace, just breaks the horse to where it's a, you know, trots perfectly and walks perfectly. But that's what it is. Just align with it. Everything else is just distortion and distraction. Just align with it. It's a new world, man. And it takes the human, it takes some getting used to for the human, but I can promise you the only thing that holds us back are the things that we don't know about ourselves. So let's be vigilant about that. And also understand, if we can't see it, the dragons will come in and blow fire on our ass and wake us up. Because it's game time, right? All right, man.
It is.
I got to call my daughter. She needs her daddy.
Well, enjoy, Todd. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
You take care, man. See you.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Next 30 days. All right, bro.
Cool. Cheers. Bye-bye.